here we are, ready to deal with the consequences of the events at the masked ball. We woke up in our room, it's 11 a.m, so we've already lost a bunch of the morning, and someone left an envelope under our doors. So let's see, what do they want? What's this? An invite to lunch today with Marquess Blake at 1 p.m. in the dining hall. Finally we can talk to the guy. Interesting, yes, it is. Why does he want to speak to us specifically? Is he concerned with the kidnappings, or is he the one behind the kidnappings and he knows we're snooping, so he wants to get us off the case? So before we go anywhere, we can make a hypothesis about the chase that has happened during the night. Apparently it's connected to many things. So what's going on here then? I descended into the catacombs, the secret doorway. I think it was the catacombs, right? Because that we were going through like lots of underground tunnels while we were doing the chase. As I chased we've got a ghost, we've got a shadowy figure, or the kidnapper. Well, it was definitely a kidnapper, right? They were kidnapping someone through the ballroom's secret doorway. Yes, there must be a secret doorway, right? They somehow got the person out. What if? I know what happened here.
Culprit took advantage of everyone's inebriated state last night to kidnap one of the other guests. They used knowledge of a secret door and secret passages under the manor to get their victim out of the ballroom. We lost them in the maze, not far from where Miss Deane's trail went cold, where I found the petals and the sigil. And all of this teach me anything useful?
Well, I mean, yes, we were all drugged at that party. There's no doubt to that. Things did get kinda loopy. But yes, they must have knowledge of the manor, of the grounds, right? To know there is a secret passage and catacombs and how to navigate through them. They know what they're doing, right? They weren't a guest and they snuck in through that doorway. I mean, there could be staff, there could be someone who lives here, but I think them having knowledge of the grounds is like the main thing.
The only way they could have known about the door and the catacombs is if they knew the grounds. Either from working here, knowing the place in some other capacity, or having access to plans.
Yes, so obviously we have the people who live here, the people who work here, but also we had some of the guests already. They had maps that they were drawing, like the priest is looking for things, so he's been snooping about. He has maps in his room. And Miss Hisham, she's looking for the vase, but she also had maps drawn. I'm not saying it's either of them, I'm saying they were at least the two guests we know about that have plans. Yes, I mean, we know that a lot of people claim they're here for the very first time. And yes, now we want to go into the basement, but we can still create a hypothesis about the haunting before we go anywhere and do anything more. So we can create a hypothesis here, but to make so, we have to actually figure out which of the potential Irish gods from the Tuatha De Danann is doing this, right? Because it's like haunted by someone whose name is something. We have to be specific about who that is and what they want. So apparently we've already eliminated Morrigan despite the crows showing up here, and we eliminated this other goddess, the hag. So we are between Brid and Gibnu, God of Smithit. I mean, we at least seen him out. We could go to the library and read more about Brid just to see if we can learn more, or we can ask more people about her to see if she could be eliminated from those links as well, and then we will know which one of those is it. Now, we also have to talk about who's been kidnapped, right? Because when we were doing the chase, we found a long red hair. And there is only a few people with long red hair around here. Specifically, Fiadh, and well, the druid as well. But I'm like, I assume giant shadowy figure could be able to just chuck him over his shoulder and kidnap him, right? If we're saying it's not just a normal person doing it. Okay, we've got those two talking over there.
He's meant to have been helping me move some supplies into the basement all morning.
Okay, Dara Hunter, the groundskeeper, is also not around.
Once the delivery arrived, he's buggered off somewhere.
I don't... Maybe the service in the church?
Oh, he's holy all of a sudden, is he?
Maybe? This event is bringing out all sorts of strange behavior in people.
Look, whatever she got you into, just... be careful.
She got you into who are we talking about?
Thanks for the concern, Seamus.
Whatever. I better get back to the stables. Can't leave the basement door just sitting open like that.
Oh, but you can. And then I will sneak in there and snoop in your quarters, because that's how we're getting into all the staff possessions. But I guess he's gonna be standing there, so we're gonna have to check out how we get into the basement. So we've got multiple things happening. Obviously, I assume we can now talk to people about their experiences with the masked ball and what did they see and how they feel about it. But yes, we have to make sure we visit the basement because we have limited time. I think if we miss this time slot, so before 2 p.m., we won't be able to get into the basement, and I assume that will block us from various things, so we have to do it. Another thing that was supposed to be going on is the hedge maze scrying by the well, and there was a few of those appointments at different times, so we should be there for at least one of those. But yes, obviously, is Fiadh still here, or was she kidnapped? Because she's got long red hair, so she could be one of the people. So she is potentially who's been kidnapped. Because, I mean, honestly, it's either her or Mr. O'Finn, if the red hair is anything to go by. So yeah, I guess let's check out the basement situation, whether Doyle is standing there now and we can get in, or is anything else happening. Okay, so Dr. Callaghan is just standing out here with his camera. We have an action for him, but that's because we need to find a way for him to prove himself. But that's not for now. Okay, he's standing here, and I assume if I try to go to the basement, it's gonna tell me no, because this is locked. And it's another one of those pictures drawn by Miss Hisham. Okay, so the basement entrance is still locked, but he's just standing here doing nothing, and I guess he's waiting for Mr. Hunter to return to open. Okay then, so I guess no delivery until that happens. So I guess let's go to the gardens and see if Fiadh is doing the well scrying, or is she missing? So we've got Dara here in the garden talking to Ivy. I assume we can eavesdrop on them if we sneak up on them, if they don't see us. Again, I don't know whether this is a mechanic or not, but I've been spotted once, so I'm trying to avoid being prevented from eavesdropping again.
Yeah. If I'd known you were here, I would have made my excuses much earlier. You could have told me.
What excuse would you have to come to a place like this, lass?
A fervent desire for more rain.
That might have done it. But I thought maybe it would be best to let you get along with things, and you've done well at it seems. And not that I haven't missed you. It's good to see you. How are things back home as it goes?
Oh, well, Johnny got married last spring, and Mother's got plans for Cecil. Though he's doing what he does best, and avoiding that at all costs. He'll come round to it. But he's usually in Edinburgh, not home. So these days, when I am home, it's only me and Mother and Father. We have a new stable master, of course, but I don't like him half as much as you. Neither do the boys, I don't think.
That would be hard if you did, love. But, how are you these days, the Fiadh Shallock?
Okay, so the Antishalik is a Gaelic for the second sight, which is what we know her power is.
It's alright, I think. But they still don't know what to do with me. That's why I spend all that time in London these days. They don't know of the tradition like people back home. But at least there are all these people that like to hear about it.
That's quite the collection of the people attending this thing or anything to go by. Speaking of the like, how are you, lass? With your sight?
I wish I could say. But still, it's not back. And if it is, it's too blurry to see. Hard to think I would miss it, but it doesn't feel right not to have it either.
I mean, funnily enough, she doesn't have it because her girlfriend dragged her, so she cannot know that the girlfriend was trying to do something bad to Miss Deane.
All being as it should be. It'll be better soon.
Well, we knew that they know each other, but I guess if we didn't know that, that would be then a way to find out. We cannot act on her until we find the blackmail materials to basically tell her, you know, you're free now because no one can use this against you. But yeah, why are you doing here instead of helping with the delivery?
Mr. Ward, how are you?
So, you wanna know about the fact that Victoria's been dragging Ivy? And you noticed anything odd about Miss MacLeod's behavior since she's been here? I've overheard her complaining about a loss of sight, but it's not my place to pry. I'm confident the matter is resolved by now, sir. She'll be right in no time. Okay. They don't wanna talk to me about it. So yeah, we can question him more about the relationship between him and Mrs. MacLeod, but we basically know that he worked for her family and they sort of became friends through that. You knew Mrs. MacLeod before this event? Aye, Mr. Ward, I did. From a previous posting, I worked for her family. Known her since she was a growing. She's like a daughter to me. I've always done my best to look after her when others couldn't. Did you do something to Miss Deane because you thought she was hurting Miss MacLeod? So, she's meeting with Mr. O'Meara to maybe arrange a marriage to cover up their situation. Seems Mrs. MacLeod slipped off to meet Mr. O'Meara without her chaperone. Without her? But then, why have the chaperone here at all? That girl, I swear, she's going about this all wrong. Do you know anything about Wilhelmina Blake and where her face might be? What do you know of Wilhelmina Blake? I've heard the story, but only secondhand. Off she went one day in the middle of the night and never told a soul where she was going. They say no one ever saw her again. God knows where she went or what happened to her. There's still a collection of her belongings down in the basement. I reckon no one knew what to do with them. Yeah, well, I would like to go in the basement. Do you know anything about the catacombs? There are tunnels beneath the house. Catacombs, really. Filled with skeletons. No, there can't be. I know about something like that. I've been working here for years. I wouldn't have missed. How could I miss that? Okay. Apparently news to him. And we can talk about the portal in the hedge maze with him. He's only one of the two people, so that sounds like something important to discuss. You'll think me a madman for asking this, but have you ever seen a portal on the grounds? A portal? Like a window? Of sorts, a portal to another... How do I put this? If you mean to say a portal to another world, then no. I've not seen nothing like that in my time here. But if you saw one, or think you did, I'd believe it. This place has secrets, for sure, and it's selective about who it shows them to. Okay, so he doesn't think we're crazy, but he knows nothing about it. Okay, well, I don't know whether we can do anything to make him go and deal with the delivery right now. It might just advance on its own as the time progresses once he's finished talking to her the next hour. So let's go to the hedge maze. A, to see the whales crying, and B, maybe there will be some evidence of whatever happened last night. So here we have the place where both Mrs. Deane and the other person were taken to. But it doesn't appear like there is anything for us to inspect right now. And here's the well. Okay, so Fiadh is still around here.
Damn, little well. You show me nothing. Don't go getting worked up about it now, or you won't get anywhere. Scrying is a delicate art. The mind must be relaxed, but focused. Not so easy. At least, not at first.
I am focused. I'm a magician, and a very good one. This should not be hard for me.
None of that. You're better than that, aren't you? Don't Don't let pride cloud your mind. You're focused, perhaps, but on what?
My family, of course. Except... No. When I think of them, I imagine what these people would say of me. Leaving them as I did. But what choice did I have? A magician must glitter. Whatever mud she's born in, she must bloom and escape to survive.
You put too much on yourself.
Santo cielo, says she, carrier of woes.
Well, I'd rather carry woes than expectations. Sometimes we just need to put down the load, Carmela.
Oh, I see them. But I forgot how good it feels to see them. It has been so long, and I am so far from home. Oh, cielo. Is that rain?
Or is she crying? Okay, so yes, Fiadh is still here. She has not been kidnapped, and therefore that means the druid is the one who's been taken, maybe? Or should we start asking people about the ball then?
Ah, Declan. Aren't you fierce good coming back to see me?
Apparently we can talk to Doctor about the wheels crying now. Yeah, so this hair, I assume not yours, since you're here, unless you've been taken and then brought back. I found a red hair inside a fallen mask. Does that mean anything to you? Well, it's not mine, if that's what you're asking. I wasn't at the ball. Okay, so she wasn't even there to be kidnapped. You know anything about this mask I found? You weren't wearing a skull mask at the ball last night. Well, she wasn't at the ball. My dear Declan, I wasn't at the ball. You wouldn't catch me dead at a thing like that. No offense meant, of course. Okay, so she didn't go. But what do you think is going to be the aftermath of the seance? Why do you think the seance is so dangerous? Declan, are you a holy man? I am. Then you would be of the mind that all this, how all this works, is God's will, God's design, yes? I suppose that would be fair. Whatever system you live by has starts and ends. To pull that apart with no plan to patch that mind is to open a door that was never meant to be opened. It's what the Greeks called a Pandora's box. So she just thinks is against the natural order of things. Well, she wasn't at the ball. What about the well symbols? What do they mean? I noticed that the well has been covered in the strange symbols. Don't you have any idea what they mean? I should certainly hope so. I'm the one who drew them. Oh, the land here has suffered, Declan. I fear this seance and all its agendas might push her past the edge. That well is a pillar of the land, has been since the time of the gods. If it is safe, the land will be safe. The symbols are simply protective. But I fear all the short-sighted people have left us more in need of an optician than a healer. Okay, so that unlocks her hypothesis. I assume up the fact that she wants to protect the place. Yes, she's accounted and present. The red hair wasn't hers. There's only one other person here with hair that color and length. Yes, Donald O'Finn must be our missing man. But yes, for now, we're going to make a hypothesis about Fiadh. Fiadh's goal is to what? We've got proving that doesn't exist. Escape, curse, bless, divine, protect. The future, past, land, dwell, fey. Well, from the seance aftermath may make sense. So she wants to protect the land from the seance aftermath because that's what she was talking about for a while. Keeps putting random word into the boxes when I inspect them. So yes. I think it's to protect the land from the seance aftermath. But then how is she doing it? She's going to bless. Is she going to bless the well or something? To protect the land? I'm not sure that makes sense. Okay. Apparently it is what it is.
Miss Callaghan is worried that the seance is going to leave the region decimated. So she is trying to protect the sacred waters to stop that from happening. I should find and confront her about this.
I mean, confront doesn't really sound like the right word. We just want to talk about it, see if I can help.
Ah, Declan.
Yes, I'm confronting you about the fact that you're trying to protect the land. Your goal is to bless the well to protect the land from the seance aftermath.
Well, you're not wrong. I'd do anything to keep this land safe. This lot shouldn't be doing their seance, but I doubt I can stop them. Best I can do is protect the land against them. Charms and spells should do it. And yet they aren't enough. I can't figure it out. I'm getting glimpses of the future here, and it's all death. Not a tree or creature in sight, and none of my old tricks are shifting that. I'm at my wits' end, Declan Ward. Ward. Ha! Now that's a sign and a half.
She needs to place a ward to protect the
I
land.
don't follow.
A ward is a type of protection. I reckon the universe is telling me something. I said before, you seemed like good skin. So why don't you lend a hand?
Good skin. Are you about to skin me and use that for something?
Take these components and bring them to the well. Maybe you'll see what I'm missing. May the gods be with you, because they are surely counting on you.
Well, we're at the well, like, you could... Fine, I'll do it for you. Okay, I can spend 16 minutes performing a ritual for her. Well, let's see what that unveils to us. I should bring the Callaghans here. They need to be part of this. Okay, well, she's already here, and we've seen him. I assume he's just gonna summon them. Yes, I don't need to go get him.
Why did you bring us both here, Mr. Ward? I have work to attend to.
This might also let us complete his part, right? So if he uses his tools and her tools together, you're gonna be like, look, it can all work out. You don't have to fight anymore.
Your ritual isn't working because you are divided. Times are changing, Miss Callaghan. The land is changing. And to protect them, you might need to be open to change too.
Rubbish!
Wow. A way to be open-minded about things.
Go on then. Let's get this over with.
I have the recipe. Now to see if I can find the ingredients that will make the ritual work. A dash of venom. Okay, so it's like various thing I have been finding around, plus whatever she's had. So I need a dash of venom. There's purple iodine. I don't think that's venom. Argan. Thick reddish liquid. I thought that was blood, but maybe not. Well, there's a venomous viper fang, so that's for sure venom. A metal that is blue. Well, we've got some gallium that's a blue-gray metal. Bark from the tree known as yew. I have a branch from a yew tree. And mix in some argan with some wax. There's a candle. And top it all off with a handful of flax. That's some seeds, yes. Flax flower seeds. All ingredients added. Let's check. We have done it. The well. Oh, we're doing magic. It's raining green spirit rain. So what did we do? See, discover.
We did it.
Yes, what is it that we did?
We did it.
You're right. We did.
So here I come as the person who has no idea about any of it, and I show those two up like, here's how you do your magic rituals.
I'm sorry, Rouari. I've been too hard on your ways. Too hard on you. I wanted the old way to be the only way. Maybe because I am the old way. Maybe I'm not ready to hand over the role yet. But now I know that when I do, you're ready for it.
Thank you, Fiadh. That means a lot. Now, what was that green glow?
Yeah, you two don't know, because I for sure don't.
I'm not sure. But I feel the better for it. Reinvigorated.
Oh, they did cast protection on those two, so that will protect them from the seance.
Whatever that lot have planned for this seance, I feel ready for them. I feel like we're ready for them. You'll join me, won't you?
I'd be honored to, Aunt.
Yeah, Miss Callaghan will be protected at the seance. She has healed the land with the help of their nephew. And Dr. Callaghan will be protected at the seance. His own accepted his help, his ways to protect the land. Okay. So we've got those two sorted. So that's some nice progress to start the morning off. I wonder if I've gathered enough facts to eliminate these aspects. I mean, possibly, but we're almost, it feels like we should be honing in on who it is. So it feels like it's not Miss Rouari, right? Because she's here for the first time. She wouldn't really know about the place all that much. Obviously, the Marquess definitely knows about the place. Synod, he's here as a guest, but yes, he's definitely been investigating the manor. He has maps that have been drawn and he's been snooping, so he's definitely high up in the suspect list. As much as he's Gnostic priest, I think this is still related to Christianity, or like, he's an actual Christian priest, but he actually is the follower of the Gnostic branch, right? So that's the Mr. Coventry. We don't know much about him other than he's been lying to us. So we can't go to his room because I think the key to his room and Mr. O'Finn's room is the one that's in the basement. So I'm waiting to get to the basement. This person has gone, which means yes, it wasn't him that did it, but that means he's gone. I can't talk to him anymore. I can't get any more information from him and we can't discuss anything. So is that a blocker for anything? I'm not sure in terms of like now we're not gonna be able to complete anything. It's possible that if we got to him sooner, we may have gave him a protection spell or something like that. But then if we weren't able to access his room, right, because his room is one of those that's yes, not available to us, then we would have struggled really hard to make a hypothesis about him and advance his story. So I'm not sure. Maybe it's just planned the way where he's going to get kidnapped and his story is something else. I assume Dara still hasn't moved on to the basement delivery situation, so we may have to occupy ourselves until he does so and the basement is open. Now, can we go to the chapel now? Because yes, it's supposed to be open on Sunday. This gate is open now, so I can access the graveyard and church. I think there's a service on in the church at the moment. Okay, well, new area for us to explore. But if there's a service on, we may have to, we may not be able to actually get into the chapel. But a graveyard might be a way to get access to some catacombs. Hello, Mr. Dupre. I don't think I need you right now, but just let me check if you may have knowledge about anything new that has been happening. Well, he can tell us about 2 gods that are still in our which one is it sort of list. And also, were you at the ball? What did you make of the last night's ball? Why? It wasn't dissimilar to Mardi Gras back home. That's soulful. But when you are as homesick as I find myself to be, it was a welcome distraction. Did you spot the quartet? Apparently that 4-piece were killed here over 100 years ago by the Marquess of the time, so nobody else would hear how finely they played. They just played some instruments and let those souls find it. Quite macabre, but also fascinating. Okay, so he's not at all concerned about this whole we were all drugged and saw things, right? He's like, yeah, that was good. Feels like home. Okay, anything you can tell me about Gibnu? Do you know much about the god Gibnu? He's a smithing god, yes. I don't recall much about him. Perhaps one of the Callaghans or Mr. O'Finn can be more helpful. Mr. O'Finn can't be help at all. But yes, Callaghans might be. Do you know about Brit? Because that's actually something you're closer to, right? Because it's the same as your Maman Bridget, or like from the same root. Do you know about the goddess Brit? I do. A friend of mine was priestess of hers. Brit was not one of the sovereignty goddesses, but in some ways she should have been. When the Catholic Church came here, she alone was deemed too powerful to be swept under the rug, and so they canonized her. Saint Bridget of Kildare, she became. A lot of the same domains, husbandry, midwifery, healing. You may have noticed her crosses hung along the walls of the manor. My own Loa, Maman Brigitte, is said to be the part of the old goddess that fled the church and was changed in that journey. It's interesting, isn't it? 3 versions of one goddess, all distinct yet so similar, all back together under this roof, so to speak. Okay, so she doesn't sound like someone who might be haunting the place and kidnapping people, really. So yeah, maybe I should take a quick back to the Callaghans to discuss the smithing god, because I guess he's the suspicious one right now for all the kidnapping and wrongdoing. And I mean, he's the one we've seen, right? So if anyone's walking those grounds and doing things, he was around. Yeah, sorry, excuse me. I need to talk to you real quick. Yeah, you know anything about this guy? What do you know about the name Gibnu? A smithing god. Same as Brit. My understanding is his work focused more on war, weapons and armor, you see. Whereas her work was more for daily tasks, horseshoes, tools, pots, and the likes. Yes, if his stuff is for war, he seemed like he might be more of an angry guy. Okay, but does that mean we can pick him for the haunting? So, if we go to thinking, the manor is haunted by Tuatha Dé Danann, or is it gonna be shadowy figure? I'm not sure, because he's one of the Tuatha Dé Danann then, whose name is Gibnu, and they want to return to a place of power through the portal? No, that can't be it. Well, it might be that this is shadowy figure. No, that still doesn't make any sense. Like, apparently it hasn't eliminated Brid yet from the lot, but I mean, to me he seems a lot more suspicious than she does. So the manor is haunted by a shadowy figure whose name is Gibnu. But what do they want to do? They want to battle, invade, escape? Maybe escape is the word then. Because obviously the gods have been trapped in the underworld, right? The Tir na Naug. And he may want to leave it and come over here and do an invasion. So they want to escape Tir na Naug through the portal? Well, apparently that can't be it either. But then if he's here, like I was able to see him, right? Then he's not in Tir na Naug. And so maybe he wants to return to it? Okay, I know what happened. I think this was the so far the most I've been confused about the deduction, right? Everything else has been fairly straightforward. I'm not sure if I'm like missing some research.
A god lives here. Or is trapped here, perhaps. And he wants to return home. To Tir na Naug. Through a portal located somewhere on the manor's grounds. Has the seance awoken it? Or is it stopping him from leaving? Or are the two events linked at all?
I mean, maybe he planned the seance. He's like, I'm done with it. Let's get some people in here that I can abuse for my own use, right? Because so far, Miss Deane was taken and then the druid was taken. So it feels like they're latching onto people who are quite powerful, because we've learned from a lot of people that Miss Deane was actually really good at all of her magic, right? And she was like going into all the branches, trying to learn from everyone to basically hoover up as much knowledge as she could. So she obviously would have been a powerful practitioner, you know, to help a god get through a portal to where they wanted to be. And I guess that didn't work out, and they were like, oh, maybe just a druid will do, or the two of them together.
The Tuatha Dé Danann. They fought the Milesians and were tricked underground by them. Is that why Miss Deane was brought here? Because of her link to those ancient Milesian leaders.
Okay, so he's trapped in the manor and wants to leave. So that's solved, I guess. I'm not sure where this gets us in our current investigation. I mean, it helps to know who we're dealing with. But yeah, let's get back to the chapel grounds and see what else is there. Okay, so we have a bunch of graves, bunch of crypts we could look at. Or I don't know if we can actually look at them. Because there's mausoleum door. It's locked. Cool. Minute well spent just shaking a door. More of those angel statues. Okay, so we've got Mr. O'Meara and Miss Hisham talking. What are you two talking about?
The distinction is, to be particular, that archaeologists study physical objects. But much of it is found buried, yes.
And that is where you found those jars for me?
In short, yes. But I was on the hunt for something else. A vase.
Oh?
Over 100 years ago, a vase was unearthed from an unidentified tomb in what used to be Nubia. It was found with the canopic jars. It took the place among the set of the jar that would have held the entombed's heart. And yet, it was empty.
Rotted away?
No. There are mummified hearts that have lasted thousands of years. And the jar was still sealed. The jar, a vase, really, contained only wood ash.
Because the person had no heart.
And whose tomb was it?
It was unmarked. Unknown. Likely, whoever was buried there wished to be unknown. Or forgotten. I think it was the real final resting place of Nectonebo II. His royal sarcophagus was never used. He fled after defeat by the Persians and ended up in...
Nubia?
Yes, exactly this. Notably, he was considered to be a powerful magician.
So you suspect the missing heart is related to that?
I do not think the heart was missing. I think perhaps it was destroyed in some ritual of his. Truly, I do not know. And the vase was taken, making it hard to study.
Also cursed, so, be careful with that.
Any idea who pilfered it?
Thanks to our Miss Deane, I now know the last documented person to have had the vase. Bernard Blake, a great-granduncle of the Marquess, though he never held the title himself.
Well, we actually know Wilhelmina got it after, right?
And do you think your vase, it is here?
This is where my trail ends, so I'm hopeful. But I have searched this place as much as I can. There is only the basement and the residence.
Well, good luck to you. If I can help, I will. I am indebted for the jars.
No, that favor was paid for many times over by Evelyn in getting me this close. May her kindness to us both be repaid by her imminent return.
I hope so.
Yeah, I'm not so sure about that. Yeah, I need to find your vase, but it's in the basement and I can't go there right now. Okay, so all of the crypt doors are interactable, but I'm not sure we want to be spending all our minutes being like, it's locked. Obviously there's a church door, but there's also something here that we can take a look at. Oh, this is Mary Blake's gravestone. Here lies Marchioness Mary Blake, Nee Brown, loved daughter, wife, and pillar of the community. Might the good Lord keep you ever by his side, my love. Okay, well, just more stuff about her. Well, at least we can maybe get on the Marquess' good side by being like, we know lots about your wife. Anything behind here? A ghost! But other than that, not really. A broken gravestone, can't inspect it. Can we go in the church? Yes, we can. The mass is taking place, so
before we continue today's service, I wish to discuss this grand seance you're all here to attend this evening.
I assume he's not impressed. Okay, we can stay for a while so we can listen to what he has to say.
A word of caution on the whole affair. There is certainly a temptation in this world to search for answers that seem beyond us. I understand that the loss of a loved one, for example, can compel a person to seek truths in unusual ways. But the Lord does not set upon our shoulders more than we can bear. And if there are truths to be found, He will lead us to them. If there are questions we need answered, He will provide those answers. And if the questions remain unanswered, He means it to be so. We must have trust in the Lord. We must trust that He will lead us to where we need to be. I implore you to keep this in mind as Halloween passes and we bring in the dawn of All Saints' Day. And I will pray for you all, that your better nature and your faith prevails where it might otherwise waver. Marquess, please, be reasonable.
Okay, so he's just storming off.
I should follow him.
And I'm gonna go follow him to Snoop. Where is he off to? To his wife's grave, okay. Well, apparently we get to meet him even before lunch. Hello, sir. Let me analyze you. Finally, though, it's almost 12, so I'm like, are you gonna disappear on me again? Haunted expression. There's a troubled look in his eyes. Tired shoulders. He looks exhausted, and like he has been exhausted for a very long time at that. Broad stature. An open, straight stance, as is so common with the gentry. I wonder if like the place has been haunted for a very long time and he's just like, I have to do something about this. pocket watch. So he might hide it, he's keeping a close eye on the time. Okay, well, that's all the observations about him. Let's talk. I'm sure we've got a lot to ask you about.
A new guest. You would be Mr. Ward, then. I am the Marquess of Doon, Jonathan Blake. A pleasure.
You have the better of me, sir.
No, not really. I know nothing more than your name. That is why I invited you to lunch today, to meet you before the séance later. I do hope you will attend.
Thank you for the invite, Marquess. I certainly hope to see you there.
Well then, Mr. Ward, welcome to my home and to the grand séance. I hope whatever you are looking for, you find it here.
Is he like hoping that he will gather all the souls of the powerful practitioners and that will be used to exchange them for his wife, like so he can bring her back from the dead? Or just to bring her forward as her ghost, right? Because it feels like he's very much into the seance for the reason of his wife passing, right? It's not just some random entertainment he's arranged. Yeah, well, I'm sure I have lots of things I want to ask you. Where should I even start with? So did you invite Miss Deane? Because you're the last person I can ask about this. Did you personally invite Miss Deane to the manor, Marquess? The only guest that was invited was Miss Montalbani. Her name was enough to bring the rest. Miss Deane's late departure is frustrating enough without her having been invited, frankly. Okay, so no one at the manor has invited her. Whatever the invitation was, someone just kind of landed on the side to lure her here, to make sure she was here. Looking for things that is like only he or very few people can talk about. We have the science contract for Miss Montalbani. Forgive my discussion of money at a time like this, but surely Miss Montalbani talents couldn't have come cheap? No indeed, but for an event so important as this one, I will only have the best. And the science is very important. Mr. Ward, have you not figured that out by now? The expense, the people, the distance they have come. It will be one of the most important nights in history. Yes, he thinks something really serious will go down. We can discuss the carriage accident and then his son's condition with him. Might I ask what actually caused the carriage accident? I suppose you might. It happened 3 years ago. Mary had taken the boy to Gowford for a treat to see the boats. I suspect there was no reason for it other than her good heart. A storm came in that day quickly. The driver suggested they return to the manor before it became too severe, but they left it too late. The roads were muddy, the wind strong, a tree fell, and in his effort to avoid it, the driver lost control of the carriage. It tumbled and Mary she was gone. The driver, bless him, managed to pull Walter out and carry him back to the manor. The driver succumbed to his own injuries a few hours later, bleeding out. No doctor could get here in time to save him. That this happened on October 31st is an irony not lost on me, though it is entirely coincidental. Or is it? So, yeah, what happened to Walter then? It must be difficult, your son's injuries. I am not sure which is worse, Mary's death or his injuries. To know so much of his life has been taken from him. He will never ride a horse, nor dance with the woman he loves. Will he find love? Will it matter if he does? Or does the Blake line end with him? I would give anything, do anything, take any risk to undo what has been done to him, if that were an option. Yeah, maybe that's what you're trying to do. And yes, he's a recluse now. Your son Walter, he keeps to himself. He is not best suited to life in a hotel, but our private residence is large enough that he's never forced to face that reality. Would he have been different had the accident not happened? His mother was certainly more social than I. Perhaps he would have learned some of that from her. So, why you look so haunted? You seem worried. Is everything alright? Do I know? I suppose it is fair to say that I have a lot riding on this event. Once it is done, it will be nice to return to the way things were and relax for a spell. Yeah, the way things were. You mean before people were here for the séance, or you mean before your wife died? Too close to the next hour to continue.
Excuse me, Marquess Blake.
Of course.
And it is 12 now. So Catholic Mass at the drawing room, and he's still here. But I think I've spoken to him a bunch. Like, I could ask him about looking tired and his statue, but I'm not sure if that will do a lot. Plus, I have to go to lunch with him, so potentially there will be more chance to talk through things then. And yes, the biggest thing is apparently I have to get into the private residence to do more. So yeah, maybe I should discuss the seance with him and his family then, because that seems to be connected to a bunch of things. So let's talk a little bit more since you're here. Because yeah, there is lunch, as I just said, but then I'm like, I'm not sure I will be free to do anything I want, or will he just tell me specific things? Like when we were normally at lunch with other people, they would have specific things to say to us. So about the seance. A seance is a strange event to host. How did that come to be? I lost my wife a few years ago, a carriage accident. It was a difficult time for me. It was the abruptness with which she was taken, so much left unsaid. I found some comfort through visiting a medium. I would not say it healed me, but it helped me get on this path. Naturally, I became interested in the practice and wanted to do my part in forwarding the field. I have no abilities there, so to speak, but I have this manner, and so that is what I offer up. Okay, so he's saying he's not magical, and therefore he couldn't have used magic to get up anyone. And what about your family's fall from grace? An event like this, it must seem strange to your peers. Mr. Ward, I have no peers. This is my land and my coin. I will make use of it in any way I wish. Let the babbling masses complain. It only serves to highlight how little they understand, or dare to understand. Okay, well, that was the two things I wanted to ask.
Of course.
And that didn't seem to advance anything in the mystery because there were no pop-ups. Yeah, it just made this node spent, but that's it. Okay. We will meet him for lunch later, but we really need to get something done about access to the basement. Okay, now both of them are here. What's happening there?
Where were you? This lot's been sitting here since 9.
That's something to see to. Don't worry about it.
Up to some boldness, eh?
Want me to leave you this?
All right. I was only making fun. Keep your shirt on.
Okay, so if the staff are all busy with the delivery, then this might be my just chance to search in there, yes. Now, the basement's open and no one's like standing in there, so we can sneak in and finally see what's in the basement, because that's, as far as I know, that's where staff quarters are, but also that's where that cursed vase is supposed to be, or, whatever we need to find to advance the vase situation. So that's what we will be doing next time. So, get ready for basement exploration. But for now, let me know in the comments what you think about our story so far. Why was the druid kidnapped? And do we think Miss Deane is still alive? Or is that because she couldn't do it, she's been discarded and now the druid's next? And if you enjoy my content, consider liking or subscribing. Thank you to channel members for supporting the channel, and I will see you soon on another adventure.